Good morning, students. From Seth Rangalal Kothari, Government PG College, Rajsamand, in the subject of Zoology, paper first Invertebrates. Today, we are going to present a topic Affinities and Systematic Position of Ctenophora. This topic has been presented by Prem Singh Chauhan, Associate Professor in Zoology. Affinities and Systematic Position of Ctenophora. The ctenophores possess many characters of Coelenterata, but they differ considerably from other members of phylum Coelentrates. This group has also some similar features with different animals of diverse phyla, which will be discussed here to judge its systematic position. Resemblance with Coelenterata. Possession of radial symmetry and tentacle. Arrangement of parts along an oral-laboral axis. Lack of coelom. Two cell layers with a gelatinous mesoglea in between. Branching gastrovascular canal. Presence of mesoglea. Presence of diffuse nerve net. Presence of stetocyst as sense organ. General lack of organ system. Endodermal origin in gonads and presence of nephridia. Due to the above similarities, the ctenophores are considered by many zoologists to be a class of Coelenterata. So, the ctenophores having resemblance with hydrozoa and anthomedushan from Ctenoria shows remarkable similarities with the cetipid such as Hormifora in the following characters. This the presence of two tentacles situated at opposite per radii in sheath. Presence of 8 radial canal formed by bifurcation of 4 interradial pouches of the stomach. The subumbrellar cavity of Ctenoria can be homologized with the stomodium of Hormifora. But these similarities are superficial, and the claim that Ctenoria represent a form directly intermediate between the hydrozoa and Ctenophora seems to be untenable due to the following objection. These objections are: the tentacles of Ctenoria have no muscular base. 8 rows of nematocysts of Ctenoria are not homologous to rows of the complex of the ctenophore. The Ctenoria is radially symmetrical, while ctenophore is bilaterally symmetrical. The development of the gonad is different. In Ctenoria, the gonad develops from manubrium, but in Ctenophora, gonads develop from meridional canals. The absence of the characteristics arboreal sense organ in Ctenoria. There are Hydroctenia is a narcomedushan shows some closer resemblance with Ctenophora, and these resemblances are possession of two tentacles with sheath situated between margin and the apex of the bell, the possession of arboreal sense organ, but the presence of swimming plates in the Ctenophora and the presence of velum in Hydactinia remains as an important difference to visualize a close relation among them. The resemblance with Anthozoa, the Ctenophores also possess certain anthozoan features, which are as first, ciliated ectoderm of Anthozoa is probably a forerunner of the ciliated band of Ctenophora. The presence of well-developed stomodium. The gut of embryo of both is four-lobed, thus presenting a biradial symmetry. Mesoglea is cellular. The gonad develops in connection with the endoderm and the sexual element passed out through the mouth. The both above sense organs and rows of the complex of a ctenophore have no parallel parts in an anthozoan. Lasozoals differ structurally from the nematocyst and tentacles are hollow in anthozoa while they are solid in ctenophora. The differences from the coelenterata. The ctenophores differ greatly from coelentrates in the following points. First, the possession of oppositely placed tentacle suggesting a biradial symmetry. Possession of arboreal sensory region. Absence of nematocyst except in one or two cases. Presence of 8 locomotory meridional ciliated bands of the complex over the body and presence of coloblast, a special adhesive cells over the tentacles. Presence of mesenchyme muscles and presence of definite organization of digestive system with anal pores and presence of determinate type of development. Affinities with platyhelminthes. The platyctenia has been considered to be connective link between the Ctenophora and the Bilateria. Besides Ctenophora, in general exhibit many structural similarities with the platyhelminthes and particularly with the turbularians. The similarities are as follow: ciliation of the body, dorso-ventrally flattened body, crawling mode of life. The origin of so-called mesoderm is more or less similar. The dorsal polar nerve of the turbularia can be compared with the statocyst of the Ctenophora. The Ctenophora exhibit both radial as well as bilateral symmetry. Similar earlier stage of segmentation and gastrulation, gelatinous mesenchyme with muscle fibers and cells. The view that primitive bilateria have evolved through the Plactinia has not been accepted. A careful, thorough examination of the Plactinia reveals that it is a ctenophore which has become extensively modified for sessile habit. It can further be suggested that Plactinia is a tissue-grade diploblastic animal, whereas polyclade is a organ-grade triploblastic form. Further, it can be stated that amongst the platyhelminthes, the acilo is the most primitive group and not the polyclades. The Trinophora, on the other hand, exhibit no close similarity with the acila. Trinophora exhibits many striking characteristics of their own, so that it appears more justified to treat them as separate phylum rather than a class of phylum Cylindrita. They present certain advanced structure features that appears to look forward to the bilateralia, and these are prominence of the apical organ, mode of origin of musculature from mesoderm, presence of gonoducts, and determinate type of cleavage. It appears that Ctenophora are intermediate between radiata and bilateral. They appear to have diverged very early forms, tacle and stem, which also gave up the other three branches of the Coelenterata. The ctenophore themselves represent a blind offshoot, not in the direct line of ancestry. The ctenophora appears to indicate the structural advances along with the bilaterally have evolved from the ancestral stock. This is all about the affinities and systematic position of the ctenophora. We think that this video become useful for you. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.